One thing that came to my mind as you were talking just then was something that I'd like to share with you about one of those times that you feel like all hope is lost.
Yeah.
My husband and I we've been married 15 years. He's a wonderful, godly man. He is precious, and we have a fabulous relationship. I have a son who is 20 years old and a daughter who is almost 26. And I remember one time we were going through this very difficult time. I think part of it had to do with finances, and I'm not sure what all else, but the situation felt so desperate and felt so hopeless. And I just began to seek the Lord, and my daddy used to say that things like this would happen, and they were just like little tubs of honey that would turn over in your soul. And I guess God just knew that I needed one of those. And so I laid down, and I was sort of halfway between sleep and being awake, you know, that you're not totally in a dream state. And I have this vase. I love roses. My whole studio is filled with roses. And I have this antique vase that's fluted. It comes up like this at the top. It's very small at the bottom. And in my little dream vision, whatever you want to call it, there was one single rose in that vase, and the head of the rose was huge. It was just the most beautiful rose you could imagine. And the water in the vase, the rose had used the water until the water in the vase was almost like another 1/16 of an inch, and it would be beneath the bottom of the rose, which would mean the rose would have no nourishment. And I looked at that and I thought, oh my goodness, it needs water. And all of a sudden, from the bottom of the vase, the water started bubbling up from the bottom. It came up and it overflowed the vase, and it went all over my desk and all over the floor. And I felt like the Lord was saying to me, even when it seems like you're almost at the end, all you have to do is trust in me, because I've got all the nourishment, I've got all the water, I've got all the means, I've got all the everything that you need. And when I awakened from that, I remember how refreshed I felt and how good I felt, because I knew all along, you know, we have these things in our head. We have head knowledge. God's going to take care, God's going to supply, God's going to do this. But when you're standing there and there's no money to pay the bills and they're coming to turn the power off, you know, you have to get it in your heart. It can't be head knowledge anymore. You have to get it in your heart. And that was just one of the little times that I specifically remember God coming through and helping me to see that I really just needed to trust in Him.